Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. And I'm Black. Hello, shalom. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville, the podcast, the place to be. This is season 9, episode 10, the finale, if you will, of another season. We have wrapped once again. We are really out here on a roll. I'm proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back. And I don't care what you got to say. What you got to say about it? I'm out here really dipping it and doing it. Marking the pop culture, marking the milestones of my life and sharing it with the good people of Nellyville. Anyways, I'm going to step down off my pedestal and we're going to get down in the gutter and touch on these hot topics, if you will. I hope everything's going good. How are you enjoying your fall? Hope it's good, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I'm going to get right into the tea. Okay, so hot off the press. Okay, I want to get into a queen. Okay. Little Miss Aja. Okay, we know Aja. She's been on Drag Race. She's been on All Stars. She was on Legendary, which was the Vogue dancing competition show. Great, very, very great ballroom Vogue dancer. Love Aja. Great queen. You know, represent New York, Brooklyn, I believe. Well, this is the Bronx. I believe it's Brooklyn. But either way, representing New York, very that, right? So, anyways, here's what I gotta get to. And I'm gonna read what she posts. Because we have to discuss this. We have to talk about this, okay? Look, Aja, love you so much. Love you so much, girl. Really do. You know, I love how you represent the trans community. Wonderful trans woman at being a great activist for your community. Much respect. But beyond that, let's just get into the tea. So the other day, Aja posted on X, aka Twitter, and let's read it, and then we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna discuss maybe some suggestions I might have, maybe some issues I took part in, where I agree with Aja, all that. Okay, so. The tweet reads as such, okay, and it's lengthy. So already right there, look, when people get on X and they write a book, you already know, okay, there's about to be some BS up in here. Because now sometimes you might get someone who writes a really long post and it's meaningful, it's great, it hits all the points, it does what it needs to do, it's significant. But most of the time, if a tweet is more than like a couple lines long, you already know. Baby, you should have kept it in the drafts. You really, or sum it up, or something. Like, anyways, so, here's what Aja said. So, she puts a real moment, okay? And then, not only did she just post this, and I'm going to read it, y'all. I am going to read it. Not only did she post this on X, but she also posted it on Instagram with the picture and stuff. She really made the rounds with this message, okay? So at the top of it, it says a real moment, and then it has those two little star little emoji things on either side of that. And then this says, okay, this is like 4 paragraphs. My God. Okay, stick with me. She says, I want to take a second to be honest and transparent with you all. Behind everything I share online, I am still a human being trying to navigate life like anyone else. The truth is that this journey comes with a lot of ups and downs. Lately, I've been dealing with some financial setbacks that have been difficult to talk about. 2 promoters still owe me money. One even wrote me a check that bounced, which ended up costing me almost $2,500. And another owes me $2,500 as well. That is about $5,000 I earn and have not received. Okay, pause. Before I continue reading on, first of all, baby girl, I know that the education system in America It is really, really hurting. But I think that your audience, us being the big ages that we are, I think we could do the simple math of adding 2,500 plus 2,500 being 5,000. I don't know if you was just trying to put emphasis. I don't know why you like, it wasn't even like big number. Like, what do you like, baby, we get it. We get it. Yeah. The promoters owe you money. Okay, and we're going to talk more about the promoter situation and the checks bouncing and all of that. Okay, but anyways, the next part of what she wrote, let's finish reading. Let's get through this, and then we'll go back and break it down. She goes on to say, I am not sharing this to complain. I know I am incredibly privileged to be able to do what I love, and I am deeply grateful for that. But I think it is important to remember that privilege does not mean a person never struggles. I am constantly working to rebuild myself, to create stability, and to grow from where I have been. There are still times when it feels like one setback after another. I am supporting my elderly adopted mom and saving for a major surgery that will be life-changing for my safety, my security, and how I move through the world. It is a big step, and recovery will take 6 to 8 weeks. Lots to unpack there too. Okay, but let me keep going. This is the last little bit. After I posted my lavender look from the GLAAD Awards, many of you asked for my tip information. I hesitated to share it because I never want anyone to feel pressured. But I realized that part of building community is letting people support you when they want to. I am not rich and I am not untouchable. I am a person doing my best, and it means a lot when people choose to show love in any way. So, if you have ever enjoyed a performance, loved a look, or just want to help me through this chapter, here is how you can. And then she puts her Venmo, she puts her PayPal, she puts her Zelle, she puts her Cash App. It ends with this. Whether you tip or not, please know that I appreciate you. Every kind word, every share, every bit of encouragement keeps me going. Thank you for seeing me as a full person and for being part of this journey with me. And then it's got a little purple heart. And then she's got purple hearts next to her little ways you could tip. The Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, blah, 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 whatever. And then it has a video of her doing a little Vogue routine, which I think the Vogue routine was on the Instagram, not a picture. It was a Vogue routine with the same rambling of a message. Okay, look, let's break this down. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, look. Let me first start off by saying there is nothing wrong with asking for help when you need help. It is very, very hard to put pride aside, to humble yourself, and to ask for help, especially when it comes for money. And I do not think there is shame in asking for financial help. There's on the surface level, there is no shame in that, okay? But everything is nuanced, okay? As a celebrity, big or small, you have to be very careful and very particular about how you are coming to your fans asking for them to help you. Okay? Now, no, is Aja asking for one or two people to throw around hundreds of thousands of dollars? No. It's more of like, hey, if a bunch of you want to donate $1 or $2, okay. Most people can afford $1 or $2. But also, at your big age and in the industry that you're in and you just being a celebrity, you know that there's going to be some people who love you so much. There's going to be really young people. There's going to be really naive people. There's going to be people who think that they can buy their way into your circle, buy clout. And there's going to be some people that are really going to appeal and give you something that maybe that they do or do not have. Now, everybody's grown. And if you going to be silly enough to give your light money to some celebrity online, that's a whole nother issue and a whole nother topic for another day on a different podcast. What I'm trying to get to is there is integrity that needs to be upheld. You need to understand the power of your platform and what message you are actually sending. Also, you're teaching people that you could just get online and beg for money. Like I said, there is no problem. There's nothing inherently wrong with asking for help. But there is a time and there is a place and there are ways. And I'm sorry, yeah, when you're a celebrity, the rules do change. They just do. You have to be more responsible. You're teaching people something. You're saying something. What is this really saying? To my fans, to the young people that look up to me, to the older people that look up to me. Don't have people out here thinking they could just post something online that's begging or not begging and thinking that they're going to get their bills paid. Don't be giving people false hope. Okay? And also, do not, your fans, your supporters, your people who appreciate your talents are not your crutch. Okay, now I don't know for sure, but I feel like Aja, I feel like this ain't the first time that I done seen you kind of, I don't want to say grifting. I don't want to call it. I don't want to say you're panhandling, but it's giving entitlement. It's giving. You think this stuff is supposed to be easier than what it is. I'm not understanding. What are we doing with our money? Okay? So she talks about there's 2 promoters that have not given her money. Now, promoters need to be giving people their money. But we all know that these promoters be playing games. If you are a performing artist, if you are someone, if you are a singer, if you do drag, if you are a comic, if you do something where your business is your performance, your likeness, you go to different venues, different clubs, you get paid for your artistry. You're a performer, okay? And especially if you're out here managing yourself. If you are not under an umbrella of a management team, be very, very careful. We are not, this is nothing new. We hear about it all the time, that performers go and perform and then they don't get their money. Okay? And unfortunately, sometimes you just don't get your money. And it's not right. But it's got to be okay. Because the gag is the money that you would try to spend to try to get your money back, like especially if it's something like what she's missing out on, the $2,500 from the 2 different, you're going to spend more money in legalities and lawyers and stuff. You're going to spend more than that trying to get this money back. So sometimes you just have to cut your losses, and really the best thing you can do is never work with those people again and spread the word. Put them on blast. Do not sign non-disclosure agreements. I don't know if she signed any NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, saying that she cannot speak ill of these promoters or these venues or these events or something, because if you haven't, baby, drop names. Don't sign anything that says that you will not slander, you will not. No, don't do that. Because on the off chance that you don't get your money, and this is not just for Audrey, this is for anybody. If you are an independent artist, you're a performer, if you're a musician or whatever it is, do not sign anything saying that you're not going to paint them in a bad light. Because on the off chance that you do not get your money, at the end of the day, at least you will be able to go online and say, do not work with these people. They never gave me my money, or they took 6-7 months. They took 2 years to give it to me. So if you work with them, don't be expecting your money right away. Okay. That's the first thing about that. The other thing is, I've heard this advice from RuPaul, and I think someone said Aretha Franklin also said, or no, Aretha Franklin. Let me say what RuPaul said. I think Aretha said this too, but I know for sure RuPaul said it. Get half of your money up front when you set up the performance. Get that half of the money. Get the other half of your money right before you go on stage. Not even after you perform, because then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I don't know. No, 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 no. Get the half of your money up front. And then before you step out on that stage, and I guarantee you, they're going to make sure they have your money, because if not, everybody's going to be looking stupid. I don't care if I got dressed or not. I don't care if I brought my band here, I got my instruments. I don't give a hot damn. Give me my money, or I will be calling my Uber. I will have the car waiting out front. And I'll even give you 10 minutes before curtain call. My money, and I don't want no damn check. It's 2025. Okay? I want the wire transfer. Okay? I want Cash App. I want some kind of digital wire transfer. Okay? Or I'll take a cashier's check. Sure, why not? That's good enough. I ain't no damn personal check or nothing. And also, or you can give me cash, depending on how much it is. I don't know if I won't roll a whole bunch of cash, but Aretha Franklin, what she used to do was she wanted all her money in cash, and she would get it all right before her performances. So look, don't nobody want to be walking around with thousands of dollars with the cash on them. You know what I'm saying? People crazy out here. But that's what you have to do. Now, on the other side of it, I see both sides of it like Chanel. I know that promoters don't want to be so quick to pay half of someone's fee, because let's be honest, performers can be flaky too. Artists of any kind are notorious for being, you have professional people, but let's be honest. Artists can be flighty. They can be late. They can be unpredictable. And you don't want to just be throwing money out to artists and you don't really know for sure if they're going to show up or something. But I feel like this. If this is an artist who's pretty well established, and we can debate all day about how established, and it depends on which venue. Anyways, in general, if it is somebody who's has a decent track record, who is reliable, who give them the money up front, the half, right? And then hound them. Promoters, feel free to put these artists on blast. Don't sign nothing on them either. If you give an artist something, a queen, a singer, a rapper, a comedian, or whoever, if you pay half the money up front and then they renege on the job, put them on blast. Say, hey, y'all might this y'all favorite comedian, this is your favorite queen. Well, she took the money and ran. So do with that information what you will. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would protect everybody. Don't nobody sign nothing. Don't nobody sign anything in regards to, if somebody's asking you to sign something where it's asking you, don't ever say anything negative about me, that's a red flag. Because if you do right by me, what negative would I have to say about you? And if I try to lie, you're going to have the receipts to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Take me to court for slander if I'm lying. But don't tell me I can't speak negative about you. That's weird. Why you got that clause in there? Take that out. Nah, that don't sound right to me. So, let's bring it back around to Aja. So, I don't know how long you've been waiting on that. And yeah, it's a lot of money, but also in hindsight, baby, you should be able to make that money back. You should be able to take that L in your position, and the reason why I say is because Aja, you are really talented. I'm not understanding what's stopping you from getting on TikTok Live, like the other girls and putting on a little performance, a little show for the children. There's plenty of queens out here who get on TikTok live and they do their little gigs. You got queens that get on there, they play video games. You have queens that get on Twitch and do streaming shows and stuff. You have a whole bunch of queens that do Cameo, charge a couple $100 for cameos and stuff. There are ways that you could be making that money back. So I'm not understanding. And if you don't want to get online and do the online game, then host you a little voguing class. You know how many people would love to learn ballroom dancing from a professional, from an icon, from a legend like you? Like, baby, you could make that 2,500 easy. All you had to do hold a few classes in New York. I'm pretty sure you have access to somebody's dance studio. I know you do, because in this video, you dancing in a studio. Book you up a little room, teach an exclusive class of 10 people, do it about 5 times, charge each person $250, just $250 for 10 people, and teach like a little 3-hour class. You could do that for like 5 weekends in a row, do 2 classes, boop, bada bing, bada boom. What is the problem? Get creative. I'm not understand. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There's just too much for you to do to have been able to get that money back and for you to be able to make the money without coming over here begging. And if your expenses are that high, let's talk about you volunteering. Like, look, I'm not talking about nobody's found family and all of this, but you mentioned that you were helping your, what did she call it? Her adopted mom. I don't know if it's your drag mother or whatever. You helping this elderly person. It's like, and that's it. Look, and if that person is special to you and they don't have anybody, understand, do what needs to be done. But do not take on someone else's financial burdens when you can't take care of yourself. Now, if you're the only person that person has, I hope that person isn't just mooching off of you. I'm not saying that because I don't know this person. I'm not going to speak ill on this person. But was it something you volunteered to take care of this person because you thought you had it like that? Or is it just really last resort? And if that's the case, if you really out here trying to survive for the two of you and for other people, you need to be out here hustling. Baby, don't be too proud. I mean, I know you're performing, you want to do the things. You better learn how to style some wigs, sell some gowns. You need to sell some merch, make some stuff that just says Aja season, whatever of Drag Race you were on. I'm not here. Where is the creativity? Baby, you could get, you asking people for tips, you would get tipped down if you would just go live on TikTok for about 5 hours a day. People would tune in. Even if you didn't want to host like a private class, in-person class, you could host ballroom classes online on YouTube, on TikTok Live. Go live every Saturday morning. People love to work out. People love ballroom. People love voguing. You always want to talk about people ain't doing it right. Show us how to do it the right way. Miss Anitra don't know how to duck walk. Y'all not doing it right. You love telling people what they not doing right. Show us how to vogue then. Your fans, you do have a strong fan base. It's not like you just some little small creator, you go get on there and nobody's gonna come. Baby, if you go on there, the people are gonna show up. And you friends with some really, really big queens. As Trixie Mattel, Bob the Drag Queen, Monet Exchange, Kim Chi. Who else you ask? Oh gosh, Trinity the Tuck. Ask these people. Oh, your homegirl. What's old girl doing? Your so-called drag sister. What's her name? Oh, dang, a Candy Muse. Ask Candy to all of them people that I just named. Ask them, hey, can you just shout me out to your fan bases and let them know that I'm doing this? Really, if you get Trixie to do it, you know you gonna get the money. Trixie's fans do whatever. If Trixie says throw yourself on the ground, her fans are gonna do it. And y'all good Judies. So that's why, I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. It's lazy. You're not just some season 3 third out queen that no one remembers. You are one of the more well-known queens. And you've recently been on an All Stars. So what's good, Mary? You must not you don't want it that bad. It's giving lazy. And I'm not here for it. I don't think it's cute. I'm hold on, y'all. The computer done went to sleep. The computer said, "Baby, I don't have time for it." Okay, so then let's break into this other part. You know, and then it's just like a lot of fluff. Oh, then she talks about the surgery. And I don't know if she was tiptoeing around it being gender reassignment surgery. Now, I don't know if she was dancing around exactly what she's getting because she didn't want, because I don't know if you can't really say that stuff on X. I don't know if she thought her post wasn't going to get pushed out. But why all of the roundabout? She says, because she says, I am supporting my elderly adopted mom and saving for a major surgery that will be life changing for my safety, my security, and how I move through the world. It is a big step, and recovery will take 6 to 8 weeks. So, you know, obviously she's saying she's getting some kind of surgery to, you know, gender affirming surgery, because it is dangerous out here for trans women. She's not wrong. So I don't know if she just means like FFS, which is facial feminizing surgery. I don't know if she's getting top surgery, bottom surgery, the whole thing. I don't know. And then of course we know the recovery for that is a long time. So she's going to be out of commission. What you know, I feel like this was a long post to beat around the bush of what she's really trying to ask. What I gathered from all of this, and obviously this is all conjecture, I have no idea. But I feel like she wants someone to just pay for her gender affirming surgery. And give her enough money to hold her over so that she can lay up somewhere peacefully, do all the recovery things, and then pop out as a new woman. There's nothing wrong with that, but all of the hiding around, all of the, you know, I never really want to give out my stuff, but you know what, you guys didn't ask before if you could tip me, and I didn't feel right about it, but you know what, you guys are right, I should let you. So, shut up. I would have had more respect for Aja if she just would have came out here and been like, you know what, y'all, I've been trying to save up for this surgery for a long time. With how expensive everything is out here, it's going to take me forever to get this surgery. And I really don't want to be too much older than I am now trying to get this surgery. Because y'all know how it is. The older you get, the harder it is to recover. And honestly, I'm just trying to be the woman that I am today. And I'm not even going to hold y'all. But I'm trying to get this surgery. And if I get the surgery, I'm going to be out of commission for a while. So if you can help a girl out, here are my handles. If you want to tip, I appreciate you. If not, just share the post, if you will. I'm just trying to step out here and walk in my truth. And then been done. And better yet, don't post it. Make a TikTok. Get on TikTok and be like, y'all, I'm going to be so real with y'all. I'm so ready to get my surgery. This is a surgery I want done, and this is how long I will be in recovery. And if I do that, obviously I can't be working, and honestly, I ain't got it like that. So this is me out here, shameless plug. Help a sister out. I'm trying to get a dollar bill so I can make it do what it do, and come back and be singing for y'all. Love you so much. Peace out. All this extra, girl, huh? Girl, what? Girl, huh? I just, I don't know. I'm just like, Aja, I thought she was more, I don't know, more mature than that. I think. I think it's the word. I thought you were more mature than that. And, but I, I guess Aja does at times have issues with her maturity level. And I just thought that after all these years, you know, but apparently there's still something lacking there. And her mentality of this victim stuff, like, I don't know. I just she keeps it real. She's very sweet, very talented, but sometimes like, girl, you gotta grow up. You really do in certain ways. And like somebody pointed out, you need to get you with a financial advisor or a manager. You need to learn some money, how to handle your money better or something. That might be part of the problem too. Because, like, look, this person left a comment that says, no tea, no shade. Used to love you. But posting with Starbucks and saying, I'm hesitating to post tip information when you've asked for money 5 times this year is just so funny to me. Praying all is good for you, babe. So I wasn't wrong. See, this person, I could have, that's what I thought. I could have sworn I remember her asking for money. I could have sworn. Or it was somebody else begging. It could have been somebody else. And maybe this person is wrong. But yeah, posting with Starbucks. yeah, posting with a $5 coffee and then being like, I'm just gonna have some money. Girl, what? And somebody says something like, where is that one comment? You know what? I'm not gonna read that one. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read that. Well, shoot, why not? It says, maybe stop wasting your money on weed, Miss Chronic Stoner. Ooh, let's wake that up. Let's wake that up. Now, I don't remember if if she deemed herself the chronic stoner. But yeah, people who always got money for weed, but then were like, I don't have money for nothing else. It's the same thing. People who always have money for cigarettes, weed, alcohol, going out. They always got money for. Now, it is not to say that you shouldn't enjoy your life and do what makes you happy, but you know, if you're gonna live your life online, the narratives have to match because people don't forget anything. And if you're gonna be asking for money and you're doing more than us normies down here, I don't know, babe. Maybe live within your means. I don't know, but I had to get that off my chest. I found it to be very interesting. And I'm just picking with Aja because this was the most recent thing that I saw. This is not unique to Aja. And a lot of these influencers are kind of, B, C, D, E celebrities, they 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 grift and they panhandle to their fans, and I don't know, I can't get with that. To me, cause I just feel like it's lazy. It is so lazy when you could just like post content, and then at the end, if you want to put your Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, or whatever at the end of the video, then okay. At least we would have gotten a TikTok, a YouTube video, a dance tutorial, a routine, a lip sync. Give us something to tip. I'm not just gonna give you money because you asked for it. Now you post a really, really funny video, or you go on a live and you're giving me something, you teach me something. Yeah, okay, I'll tip you. You're providing entertainment. Don't just ask for money. And where's the entertainment? It's giving. You're abusing your platform, babe. What a turn off. What are we doing? It's not. That's like, baby. It's not cute. Anyways, I'm gonna get up off of Aja, and I'm gonna move on. Love you so much. I'm gonna move on. And speaking of moving on, I think there's a store that I gotta move on from, y'all. It might be a store that I gotta move on from. Okay, and now I had other stuff that I was gonna talk about, but I done went on 35, almost 40 minutes about Miss Aja. But I'm gonna talk about this because y'all need to know. Okay, we talked about spending money wisely. We're talking about moving on. We have added a store to the list that we need to look out for. Okay, have y'all heard about TJ Maxx? Oh, damn. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all not gonna like this one. Y'all not gonna like it. I know. We like the TJ Maxx. You know, even though she done got a little pricey recently, but that's beside the point. A lot of times, TJ Maxx, you can go in, get you a little something cute, you know. You can get you, you know, they got a variety. You know, then you got your little home goods, and you know, you can go in and get your little birthday gift, get your little Christmas outfit, get you some Halloween decor, you know, pick you up with a couple of things. You know, they got a little perfume cologne section, well, makeup section. Well. I watched the Shane Dawson podcast. And was it podcast? It was just a video. It was a video. Anyways, watch Shane. Damn. They did a little experiment. Now, some months ago, maybe about a year ago, they went to an unnamed discount store. They didn't say the name, but you knew it was TJ Maxx. And they went in there because the rumor had it that they were accepting returned makeup and used makeup and putting it back on the shelves. Okay. So they did a little experiment about, it might have been a year ago. It was like some months ago. So they went and bought some makeup. They opened it. They marked it with like a little star on the inside, just to, you know. A couple of them, they messed up a little bit. Anyways, they took it back, returned it. The people accepted it, either gave them store credit or their money back or whatever. So they go back to the TJ Maxx like the next day or a few days later. And don't you know, they put that used makeup back on the shelf. That's some nasty shit. That's almost as nasty as putting used drawers back on the floor. That's nasty. You mean to tell me? Now, usually most makeup products, you could tell if it's been opened or not or something. And most people, if you see a makeup product and it looks like it's been opened, you're not going to take it. But sometimes you can't tell. So, look, makeup is very expensive, and a lot of people like to go to discount places to get their makeup because it's just more affordable. You know, especially you can get these same palettes, you know, when they first come out, they're $50 and $60, but if you wait a few months, they'll go to TJ Maxx and you can get it for half the price a lot of times, sometimes even less. So just be very careful when you get the makeup from TJ Maxx, okay? It gets worse. So Shane, Rylan, the whole crew, they go to TJ Maxx, and this time they do not just test makeup. Because rumor had it that TJ Maxx is doing a little bit more than putting used makeup back out on the floor. So they all go to TJ Maxx. They buy different things. They buy sheets. They buy makeup. They buy underwear. They buy what else did they get? Gosh, it was several different items that you for sure would not want to get if it had already been used. Okay, face creams and stuff or whatever, right? So they took it. They opened the stuff. They marked it all with like invisible ink. They did this and that, blah blah blah, to all of the stuff. They put it all, packaged all the stuff back up. Not only did TJ Maxx take all that shit back, but when they went back to the store the next day, don't you know they put all this stuff back on the floor? Including the open underwear, the open sheets, and then one lipstick that they bought had already been returned. When they opened that out of the box, it was like, it was all over the box, and they sold it to them like that, and they still took it back and still put it back on the floor. They also they bought some stuff and tested it for mercury too. So be careful with that. If you have kids and stuff that like to put stuff in their mouth, they have mercury kits that you can get online and stuff. Look, I'm not trying to put another fear in anybody's head, but I'm just saying. I think they did pretty well on the mercury test, but some other people have done some experiments and found some things in TJ Maxx that have mercury on it. So just, beware. The disgusting part, the most disgusting part to me is the bed sheets. Because I think that most people are not gonna buy underwear if it looks like the box has been opened. So most of the time people pass over it. So I'm not too worried about that. But sometimes you would have a person who, I think, more than the underwear, which is nasty, 'cause somebody could still buy them. And if it's packaged up a nice, maybe you might not notice. I don't know. But anyways, the sheets. Most of the time, you're gonna get the package that is clearly unopened, untampered with. But you know what? If Think about somebody who maybe they host an Airbnb or something, and they need queen size sheets. They need queen, and those are the last ones. They're gonna be like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one, because who's gonna think that someone bought the sheets, opened them, and brought them back? Nobody's gonna. People are just gonna think, oh, someone must have opened it in the store to really feel what they felt like, maybe to check and see what size they were, to really, because we've all seen people stand in the aisle and open up stuff and compare sizes and stuff, and we've seen that. Do not assume that someone stood there and opened something in the aisle, because it's people like TJ Maxx. And TJ Maxx is doing, other stores are probably doing it too. People, and who knows what people are doing to it. The skin creams and stuff that they gave back, who knows? So you mean to tell me somebody could buy skincare, take it home, put something in it, put acid in it, put Nair in it, do anything, put a booger in it? I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just saying, just beware. Something else for us to think about. Anybody could do anything to this stuff, take it back, and they just gonna put it on their shelf. And all these little kids love all this makeup and stuff, and some little 9-year-old girl's gonna go get it and put it on her face. Bam, there you go, face all melted off. I mean, look, what I would say is, when you get your stuff, make sure it's sealed. And honestly, if it's something that if it's something obviously that's got to go on your body or in your body, if it's makeup, skincare, if it's sheets and stuff like that, really, really make sure it's something that's completely sealed off. I mean, this is stuff that we know, but sometimes if it's something where, like, sometimes you only won't get if it's obviously tampered with. But just really look very, very carefully because somebody might have tampered with it just enough that it's not obvious to the naked eye. And if you're going to be getting discount makeup and stuff for your teenagers and young people, just be very careful because I know makeup and skincare and stuff is a really hot commodity and Christmas and stuff is about to come up. So if you plan on going to the discount stores to get a bunch of gifts, just be very careful and maybe don't get your underwear from there because who knows? They might figure out a way to package the shit up to where it don't look like. And wash everything. I'm pretty most people do wash their stuff before, but just really wash your stuff. Really pay attention. Even if the sheets and stuff are packaged, just go ahead and just throw it in the wash. Get a black light or something. I don't know. I mean, it's very disturbing. It was great content. I'm glad Shane did that. Shane, if nothing else, Shane will expose the company. People hate to see Shane coming in their business. You know what I'm saying? But and then to go back to that lipstick that was already messed up that they sold to them, and they took it back, and they tried to give them a hard time about returning it. Not only did they take it, but then they turned around and put it back on the floor. How you gonna give me a hard time about something that shouldn't have been on the floor anyway? Give me a hard time about taking it back just for you to try to sell the shit again? Why are they not throwing it away? When I worked in retail, if we got certain things returned, or if it was, I mean, most of the time you had to have a receipt, or it had to be within certain amount of days for you to even get store credit or whatever. But sometimes if it wasn't worth the fight, we just didn't. Or if something ended up getting damaged in store or something, we would, I forgot what they called it. Was it voided out or something? Anyways, we would take it off the floor and process it to either send it back or discard it or whatever. And we would make a note of what it was so that when we had our inventory, whatever that thing was called, where the people would come and count everything to see how much stuff we've had stolen, or whatever. I forgot the terminology, and y'all know what I'm talking about. We would have someone come in. It would be when the mall was closed. You had to count everything, and then you would compare that to the number of units that you were supposed to have in the store, and that would tell you how much stuff had been stolen, and then depending on how much loss you had, would determine if your store got in trouble or not. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. But anyways, look. I'm sorry that the final episode took a turn, that it was a little that's ugly. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave it with that. But what I will say is I definitely appreciate y'all listening. And I think that once again, I think I'm just gonna keep it going. I think I'm really on a roll. We didn't take a break between seasons 8 and 9, and I don't think we're gonna take a break between 9 and 10. And I'm trying to think, did we have a break between 7 and 8? I don't know, but we've been on a roll, and I like doing these, and we've really been. I mean, plus, there's just so much going on. There's lots to talk about right now and stuff, so I like it. And then this is my long form style of content right now. As far as videos, no one's really doing long form YouTube videos anymore, so it's very quick. I only do like one. I might every now and then I might do a 3-minute video for YouTube, but most of the time I'm doing my 1-2 minute TikTok videos and then using those for my YouTube videos these days. because, attention spans, right? So my podcast is when I really get to sit down with the girls and Kiki, you know. This is where we really get to, you know what I'm saying? But I do think I want to get back into long form YouTube videos again, but I had to figure out what. I had to figure out when is the next season of Drag Race, because that's when I normally do my here for the last, I would say, maybe year or two. That's when I've been doing like my long YouTube videos. This is when I do the review videos. So we'll see. Anyways, keep tuning in. Make sure you follow me on all of my socials so you stay in the loop on all things Nellyville. Check out the coloring book. Coloring book still on Amazon, still for sale. Check out the Etsy shop. We got a few things up on there. You know what I'm talking about? We might put a little Christmas merch on there, so I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, here's to another great season. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been real. I hate to say goodbye. Y'all know I'm long-winded. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Anyways, y'all stay safe out there. No King's protests on Saturday. If y'all gonna participate, be careful. If y'all going out there protesting on Saturday or anytime during this time, y'all be out. Y'all be good. Say your prayers. Do what needs to be done. Don't leave at the first sign of danger. Don't do anything that's gonna provoke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need y'all to be out there on your Martin Luther King. No, just anyways. All right, well, okay, love you so much again. Bye.